Absolutely true. She was like, she was, no, she only little woman. She was 5 minutes late. The church was back, so she couldn't get to see the inside. And she went off another way. Yeah, people like that. Do you find that?
I'm all right, Dick. How are you? That's right. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I'm good.
Hey. Dancing.
Oh, you. You. And you right with that?
Have to be.
No, Rachel speaking today. Yeah. I don't know how that's going to roll, but anyway. Well, we'll just roll with it. Shut up. I went to the crystal shop one day. This is like 12 months ago. I walked in there and the lady started talking to me and I just started crying. And I'm like, what the heck is going on there? So yeah. Did you work it out? No, it was weird. It was so weird. And so I won't go in there anymore. And that was in a crystal shop? Yeah, in a crystal shop. Yeah, it was so bizarre. So, yeah, I haven't been back there. That's what I said to her. Well, no one saw me last night. Like 3 days last week. What are you doing now anyway? Just this. I know. They ran out, yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. No, we didn't. We go. Then Sean come over, he's like, you should have probably got Charlie got, you had to pick up the thing. Oh, your husband's thing. No, I don't. I have this thing. Yeah. Yeah, no, it wasn't. I know, right? When she came through, I was like, I know, after everyone was like, yeah, no. Yeah, because she was so good.
It's the dream, afraid of waking, that never takes the chance. It's the one who won't be taken, who cannot seem to breathe. And it's so afraid of dying that never learns to live. When the night has been too lonely and the road has been too long, when you think that love is only for the lucky and the strong, just for believe love is small. See that when the sun's lost in the sky, become the road.
But if you'd like to gather in with us,
Good afternoon, family and friends. My name is Carrie Frith, and it is with deep sorrow that I welcome you all here to this service as we've come to honour and to commemorate the life of Pamela Evonne Sherwood, better known to you as Evonne, Mum and Nan. and to lay her body to eternal rest. Before we commence the service in honour of Evonne, I would like to trouble you to ensure that your mobile phones are switched off out of respect, and also take the opportunity to thank Sean Hamilton Funerals for their care and compassion of the Sherwood family at this very difficult time. Today gives us the opportunity to focus solely on Evonne, something in life she did not appreciate because she did not like having a fuss made of her, but she certainly made a fuss of everybody else, a lady that always put others before herself. She did specifically request a simple service for today's proceedings, and we will honour that request, but not before we provide her the justice that she so richly deserves. We also come here today to love, support and uphold Dick, Kelly and Scott, Rachel and Charlie, and her precious grandchildren Elena, Matthew, Adam, Caitlin and Paul, and to share thoughts and memories of the precious treasure she was to each of you, knowing that she will be dearly missed. On behalf of the family, I do thank each and every one of you for joining us here this afternoon, including those that are joining us from the live stream. And I sincerely hope that this service is able to bring you some comfort wherever you may be watching from. Today, we pay tribute to Evonne and the beautiful person that she was. She was fiercely protective of her family and had a wicked sense of humour right to the end. Today we express our gratitude for the love and kindness she bestowed on you, and for you to express your love, affection and respect for her. When someone who is very much loved dies, there is no doubt their passing causes sorrow and grief beyond measure. For Evonne, she is at peace, and it is you that is left behind that feels the everlasting loss that she's no longer a part of your everyday life and the heartache that brings you. It is also you that has been so blessed that she was a part of your life. The hardest thing in life is to face the death and its finality, as it represents the loss of someone we loved and who loved and nurtured us and contributed to the very people that we are. Evonne's love, friendship, kindness, good humour and support was not limited solely to her family. She shared it freely with all of those that she came in contact with, which is so evident by the attendance here this afternoon in her honour. On behalf of Sean Hamilton Funerals and myself, I do extend our deepest condolences and sympathies to you for your loss. Evonne will continue to live on in the hearts and those thoughts of all those whose lives she has touched. Each one of you feels enriched because you knew her, and you were fortunate and privileged to have had her in your lives, and for that you are truly blessed. The gratitude of having had a devoted wife, mother, grandmother, sister and treasured friend will never be lost. And for Evonne, the words on the back of the little cards that some of you have received would resonate with her, and it's called Afterglow, and I'd like to share those words with you now. I'd like the memory of me to be a happy one. I'd like to leave an afterglow of smiles when life is done. I'd like to leave an echo whispering softly down the waves of happy times and laughing times and bright and sunny days. I'd like the tears of those who grieve to dry before the sun, of happy memories that I leave when life is done. I'd now like to invite Stephen Curry forward to share Evonne's life and some memories with us.
For those of you who don't know me, I'm Stephen Curry and I'm Evonne's nephew. And firstly, I'd thank you all for joining us here on this sad occasion and sharing your condolences with the family and many friends. It's certainly a good turnout and Evonne will be so proud. Well, Pamela Evonne Sherwood, preferred name of Evonne, was born in April 1950. She was 74 years. She married her love Richard, better known as Dick. They were married for 52 years. I hope I got that right, Dick. They were blessed with two beautiful daughters, Rachel and Kelly. Son-in-law Scott and Charlie. And Evonne was a loving nan to 5 fantastic grandchildren. Elena, Matthew, Adam, Caitlin, Paul, and Elena, who is also expecting the first great-grandchild in July. During their time together, Evonne and Dick have shared many wonderful times as their life's journey carried them to many countries and adventures. Evonne was a baby of the family of the Curry offspring, grandparents Eva and Doug having 13 children in total. Ron, my father, was the eldest, and then followed by Beryl, Colin, Daphne, Marge, Bob, Athel, Don, Ken, Shirley, Bev, Marcia. There are 5 surviving siblings out of the 13. Evonne grew up around Ballymore, lived at Bingra, Dubbo, Wellington, Scone and Tamworth. She worked as a meat packer and a shop assistant and domestic and office assistant. I fondly remember the Christmases and family get-togethers at Nana's house in Macleay Street, Dubbo. All of the aunties would be busy preparing the food, which was always ended up a huge banquet. This obviously stayed with Evonne as her cooking and meal preparation was second to none. When we called in to see them, nothing was a problem. Her kindness and welcoming nature knew no bounds. I also remember when they would call in to Nana's with her kids, and Gina, the family dog, who had a mind of its own, was there also. Evonne was tireless in helping others and family, always there for help if required. Her heart was so big and generous, always thinking of herself. Evonne stayed with us at Curl in Sydney for a little while she worked at Coles. We had some great times and memories from there. It wasn't fun but having 3 girls in the house, and I was the only male. Evonne loved her family without exception. The grandchildren were always on her mind. The support she gave them was admirable and was always there for help when needed. One of her sayings was when Dick said something, she'd say, "Shut up, Richard." And it always rings in the back of my mind. Would come from somewhere. I remember when we would call sometimes when the grandkids were little, she would also be cursing and say she had to go as they were up to something. But she loved every minute of them. She also loved going to Darlington Beach, northern New South Wales on their annual holiday. It was not hard to see why she enjoyed these trips so much with family and great friends. In fact, this was one of her last wishes to be there this year, which she enjoyed so much. When I got diagnosed with cancer myself, Evonne was there offering words and wisdom. When she herself was struck with cancer soon after, we had mutual comfort in our support of each other, and conversations, I think, helped us both deal with what we were going through. I will always be thankful of the fond memories with her and always supportive with advice and without condition. Evonne was a strong-willed and gave it her all during her 4+ year battle. Never once did she complain, but was always thinking of others during her treatment. She spoke so highly of the doctors and nurses that were treating her. Her humour helped others at the clinic also. We'll miss you, Evonne. Thank you.
For all the travels that Evonne enjoyed throughout her life, there truly was no place like home for her. She was a devoted stay-at-home mum for her 2 girls, and she never missed anything and attended all their school events. And while she herself couldn't swim and hated the water, she did support her daughters with their swimming. Of course, when the grandchildren went through school at St Edward's and McCarthy, Evonne was there every step of the way as well, and attending all their school events, including masses, grandparent days, and all the celebrations. Such a familiar face she was on school grounds that she was on first name basis with those office ladies. To share more memories, I'd like to invite Rachel forward.
Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us on this day to celebrate Mum. I didn't realise that when I sat down to write about Mum that I would find it so difficult. Not because she's hard to write about, but because if I wanted to write about everything I could, I would be speaking forever. So what I've come up with is some things that I remember, and I apologise as they are not in any chronological order or any real order. For those of you that I'm not familiar with, I'm Rachel, the youngest, and as Mum would say, less sociable daughter of Dick and Evonne. To say that Kelly and I scored the jackpot when we got them as our parents is an understatement. We couldn't honestly have asked for 2 better people who were more loving and giving and would go above and beyond in every way to ensure that we have everything that we needed. And this is something that has continued throughout our lives. Charlie and I have been blessed that our children have had such an amazing and involved nan. From looking after the kids while we both worked, to taking them on holidays, spending nights in hospital when I was unable to because I had a newborn at home, and attending all their school things. We know that our children will never question the love that their nan had for them, her fierce protection for them, and also the value of her frank and honest advice to them as they got older. As a family, Dad, Mum, Kelly and myself moved a few times when we were younger. But we were fortunate enough to have Mum who was there every step of the way to make sure that everything was as smooth as possible, that we felt safe regardless of our new surroundings, and that she encouraged us to get out there and make new friends. Mum also took this on board when we moved to Tamworth. She got herself out and about and made some amazing friendships. One cherished one that she has to this day is with Carol. They have a closeness that could make them pass as sisters, and this has made Carol also part of our family. Mum was always very humble about who she was and the impact that she had on people. I'm sure at one time or another she's told some of you about the brightness that you've brought to her life, but would have shrugged it off if you had have tried to tell her the brightness that she brought to yours. Mum was always there for everyone, no matter how she was feeling or what was going on with her. She always wanted to make sure that everyone else was okay, whether it be making sure that everyone had eaten enough at the family dinner, and I can still hear her saying, "Richard, come and get your plate," or "Charlie, there's more food out there, go and get it," after he was already on his 4th serving and dessert was still yet to come. Or more recently, making sure that people weren't going through their own cancer battles alone and unknowing, and that she was their pillar of support whenever they needed it. Growing up, we were always told that Kelly was very similar to Dad, and that I was more like Mum. Being like Mum made for some interesting times growing up. In no way have I been the perfect daughter, and I'm pretty sure I'm mostly responsible for Mum's grey hair. But regardless, Mum was always there, generally to firstly tell me how stupid I was, but then to talk me through with whatever had happened. The conversation would also have the comment in it, "I can't wait till you have kids and they cause you grief." My response was always, "No, my kids will be perfect," which she would laugh because she knew. Having the same stubborn streak, where Mum always thought that she was right and I always knew that I was right, made for some interesting conversations. Both of us quick to fire at each other and hash it out, which sometimes led poor Kelly to end up in tears because she hated the arguments. But generally, any fighting was done and dusted in no time after we had hashed it out, and both had our say and agreed to disagree. And we would continue on as if nothing had happened. It would be a lie to say the past 4 years haven't been a mix of up and downs, with some very hard times that we've had to face as a family. Watching a once vibrant, social, strong and independent woman become reliant on others was tough for us, but even tougher on Mum. Those of you that have followed her journey would be aware that she held on to her driving until the last possible minute, but I think Dad ended up having to hide the keys to the cruiser because the denial of her failing eyesight led to a collection of love kisses appearing on the car. The strength that Mum showed was nothing short of inspirational. This is not only during this battle, but throughout her life. No matter the adversity, she would only ever let it make her stumble and not fall. This is something that I can only hope to replicate in my life. Taking on the cancer battle was no different. She wasn't going to give up without a fight, and each step of the way, she was going to fight with all she had. Regardless of if the news wasn't great, she was ready to take it on. We all know that Mum had a wicked sense of humour, and this was something that was still there right to the very end. It was there through the darkest moments, and I'm sure after overhearing some of our conversations, the hospital staff would think that we were crazy at times. This was actually something that shone a light for us during these dark times, even though a majority of times it was very inappropriate humour, but it reminded us that despite her external appearance and her support needs growing, that she was still the same amazing person and ready to crack a joke at the drop of a hat. September last year, we were given the news that Mum had only 3 to 6 months of her battle left. Instead of giving up, she took the bull by the horns and made a plan. This consisted of 2 goals. The first to make it at Christmas, and the second to make it to the annual Darlington Beach holiday, with one slight difference this time. Then it needed to be a whole family affair. I think it became a weekly thing for her to politely, or not so politely, inquire if I had booked our accommodation yet, which was followed by the look, which I'm sure if any of you've seen that look, you would know what I'm talking about. Christmas came, and although it was a quiet time compared to our normal big celebration, and we made it so that it wasn't so draining for Mum, we were all excited that we'd made the milestone. The chat with the doctor around that time gave us hope that it would be an easy road to goal 2. But unfortunately, though, that wasn't the case. At the end of January, a speed bump was hit that resulted in an ICU stay. The news we were given at the time was quite confronting, with Mum having an infection that had turned septic, with doctors giving the choice to Mum to get invasive intensive treatment or just to be made comfortable and prepare for the end of life. After a quite frank conversation, which may have consisted of me saying to her, "You made me book this bloody trip and you know I hate sand," Mum made the decision to have the treatment and aim for the holiday, regardless of the fact that she had to have a much detested hospital stay, to which Dad, Elena and myself heard all about every time we visited, and seemed to be placed on her hit list, and as we were somehow responsible. Thankfully, once the infection was gone, she started liking the 3 of us again. Fortunately, the treatment worked, and this meant we were blessed to be able to create some amazing final memories which we will all cherish. As odd as it sounds, the greatest memories that we have were made during these hospital visits. While there is some sadness and tears, there was also a lot of laughs and jokes and crazy family banter. I will always cherish these moments because for me they are a reminder that no matter how bad things were, we were able to find joy and laughter in some of the worst moments. Mum, I miss you now more than I thought possible. I know that it will get easier, but a big part of me will now be forever missing. I hope that I can be at least half the woman that you were. Sorry. Your support, your love, your strength, and your ability to know when you're needed. You were amazing. You were an amazing mother, grandmother, wife, and friend.
And there are so many people that were blessed to have you in their lives. While you may be gone, your memory will always be alive, and we will make sure that you are never forgotten. We can't thank you enough for what you have brought into our lives. The past week has seen us all revisit many memories we have with you, from your killer aim with throwing a lighter to your epic 90s perm. Your many I told you so looks after I had done something stupid, which I then got to enjoy watching you give the same look to my children. I'm thankful that during your time in hospital, we got to have a lot of alone time together, to have these open and frank chats about what you wanted, which allowed me to advocate for you, which is something that you have done for us time and time again. From making sure that you got to go on your holiday when they thought it was going to be impossible, to spending your last days the way that you wanted to spend them, and going out on your terms. You were loved by so many, and you will be missed every day. I will be forever grateful for you and everything you have done for us all. Your last request was that we look after Dad. We will make sure that he feels loved and that he is cared for, and that his diet doesn't only consist of steak sandwiches. I will never be able to thank you enough for everything, but I can only hope that I can continue to make you proud. Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful tribute, Rach. I'd now like to invite Matthew Rafalo forward to share a poem with us.
For all you are, I thank my lucky stars that I met you. Someone so kind, so thoughtful, so wise, and so special. Someone who would change my life in so many ways. It's not anything in particular you do, although I appreciate all the things you do, both small and big. It's who you are. You light up the room with your presence. Your wisdom brings clarity in times of confusion. Every day that includes you is a good day. Your spirit, your energy, and your one-of-a-kindness is rare and precious, and I'm unbelievably blessed to know you. So in case I don't tell you enough, thank you for coming into my life. But most of all, thank you for being you.
Thank you, Matthew. We're going to pause now for a moment of reflection on Evonne's life and give you the opportunity to think about what she meant to you as we listen to a song that she specifically requested, and it's The Sounds of Silence by Disturbed.
Left its scenes while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking. People of silence. Fool said I, you do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words out of my heart, teach you. Take my arms out of my heart, reach you. But my words, like silent raindrops fall, and echoed in the wells of silence. And the people bowing to the neon god they made. And the sign flashed out in his morning, and the words that it was forming. And the sign said the words on the prophets are written on the subway walls, tenement halls, whispered in the sound of silence.
I have some very precious tributes to share on behalf of the grandchildren as they thought of some memories of the time that they spent with their nan, which I'm sure would have been very difficult to pen. Elena shares, I was asked if I could write about my favourite memory with my nan. As I sit here thinking about the thousands of stories I could share, I could not pick just one. From our infamous coffee dates from when I was a little girl, till only just a couple of years ago our annual holiday in Coffs Harbour, or just simply sitting at the back table talking about life. Her giving me advice, or us talking about who has annoyed us that week. As we all know, she had a bit of a short fuse. Anyone who knew anything about us knew she was my absolute best friend. One of Jared and my favourite memories together would have to be the very first time you two had met each other. Jared had been in Big W at the time when we had conveniently been there too. Once I had pointed him out and said that was the bloke I was talking to at the time, she hunted him down, stopped right in front of him in the charger aisle, and carried on introducing herself, and then proceeded to invite him over for coffee and to join in on the Saturday night raffles at the Services Club. That day, I don't know what's happened to my sound. I'll have to speak a lot louder, I'm sorry. Somebody coming to my saviour. Well, I appreciated determination. Or maybe she wanted us to be here for a little longer. Ah. Testing. Apologies for that, folks. That day Nan had won Jared over for life, and well, the rest is history. Nan, I am so fortunate to have had you in my life and known you not only as my Nan, but my best friend. I love you and will miss you forever. My little man on the way will know of the amazing woman you are, and I will continue to make you proud every day. Rest easy, Nan. I love you. Elena May. And from Matthew, being Nan's second-born grandchild, I've been able to experience a large part of my life with her. Everyone knows that Nan was a caring, loving and charismatic person, which resonates in all of us and our memories that we have. All of us have our own personal memories of Nan, which should most definitely be shared, which is what she would have wanted. From an early age, I still remember all of what Nan had done for her grandchildren. Every night before a school excursion, we would spend the night with her and Pop so that they could drop us off early in the morning, after feeding us enough to feed a village. I remember I was always more excited for the sleepover the night before than the actual excursion. Each one of us grandchildren are able to sympathise together when I say that a fond memory I have is faking sick to get off school. To spend the day with Nan having unlimited food, in particular our toasties that had been loaded with everything in the fridge. Nan took care of both of us when we were sick, and sick, we all know she was able to tell the difference but never told Mum. Upon the topic of food, I remember spending many afternoons after school at the corner shack where we began to find our love of hot chips with gravy, cinnamon toast and milkshakes. I'm glad that Nan played a significant role in my life. Arguably, she was the one who raised me. Even though she was good at expressing her opinions, including, if God wanted you to have holes in your body, he would have put them there. When Elena and myself started to get piercings, we know that she always loved everyone and was happy that it was her grandchildren causing all of her stress. From Adam, for me, it's hard to pick out just one good memory shared with Nan, so I thought I'd spit out a few. But first, I'd just like to take a second to say how much of an amazing woman she was. No matter what happened with anybody, from her bad days to mine, she was always there, and it would always seem to find a way to put a smile on anybody's face. One memory that stuck out for me was the time that we were all asleep. It would have been about 11:30 at night, and I got out of bed to get a glass of water. Whilst I'm in the kitchen, I hear Nan come running out screaming, "Who's there? I'll get you!" with a stick about as tall as her in one hand, ready to swing, and me yelling, "It's only me, Nan, don't hit me." Nanny's little soldier, Adam. I think it has been mentioned a couple of times, she was fiercely protective of her family. From Caitlin, Nan and I had shared a lot of memories during the holidays, which I always stayed at hers for weeks every time. I can't pick one memory, as we shared many that always bring a smile to my face. Each morning she'd go for her daily coffee at the shack, which would end up with a bowl of chips sitting in front of me, as she understood my passion for them. She even took me after school. Nan would never let us go hungry, as she constantly had snacks in her cupboard and was always thoughtful of her grandchildren when she went shopping. I'm so lucky to say that my Nan was a beautiful soul, and she was also my best friend all in one. I love Nan, and I'll miss her every day while cherishing our memories together. But I know she's always with me throughout everything. Love, Caitlin, and that is so true. She is with you throughout everything. And Paul, my favourite memory of Nan is of us staying over during the holidays and sitting out the back with her late at night and listening to her stories and tell jokes. There was also that one time when I was little and had broke my finger at Nan's, thanks to Caitlin, and after getting the bigger kids from school, Nan got distracted and slammed that same finger in the car door just to make sure it was broken. Thanks for the memories, Nan. Love, Paul. Throughout Evonne's life, she was able to experience the incredible love, joy and support that you all provided her, and you showed her how valued and cherished she was to you. For that, she also knows how truly blessed she was. And not everyone gets to experience that in their lifetime. It is so true. You get what you give. As we come now to the committal, in sorrow but with deep love and affection, we will commit Evonne's body to all eternity and to rest in eternal peace. We give thanks for her life, her love, her sacrifices, and all that she shared. Let us pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, for ever and ever. Amen.
That you have left me. I keep telling myself that it's true. I can get over anything. You want my love, but I can't get myself over you. Don't forget to remember me and the love that used to be. I still remember you. I love you. In my eyes, a memory to till the stars above. Don't forget to remember me, my love. On my wall lies a photograph of you, girl. Though I try to forget you somehow, you're the mirror of my soul. So take me out my home. Let me try to go on living right now. Don't forget to remember me and the love that used to be. I still remember you. I love you. In my eyes, a memory to till the stars above. Don't forget to remember me, my
Today, we ask for comfort and peace to those who are separated from their loved ones. May the ache in their hearts be the strengthening of their hearts. May their longing bring resolve to their lives, conviction and purity to their love. Teach us to embrace our sadness lest it turn to despair. Let our hearts grow fonder, and may we live in such a way like Evonne did, that when we die, our love will survive and continue to grow. I'd like to thank you all for joining us again here this afternoon in honour of Evonne and for your love and support for her family. On behalf of them, I'd like to extend an invitation for you to join them for refreshments at the Tamworth Ex-Services Club and to further reminisce on all of the memories and times that you shared with Evonne. To conclude the service here this afternoon, we're going to listen to Take Me Home Country Road, and it's at this time that I invite you forward to present your flowers.
West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, growing like a breeze. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, all my memories gather round her. Miner's lady, stranger to blue water. Dark and dusty, painted on the sky. Misty taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eye. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, I hear her voice in the morning hours. She calls me. The radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday, country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home. Country roads, take me home. Country roads.
Spend all your time waiting for that second chance, for a break that would make it okay. There's always some reason to feel not good enough, and it's hard at the end of the day. I need some distraction. Oh, beautiful release. Memories seep through my veins. Let me be empty. Oh, weightless, and maybe I'll find some peace.